Welcome to the Business Edge, where smart minds turn books into breakthroughs. You've probably noticed it too. Constant phone notifications, social media noise, message pings, all of it pulling our attention in every direction. When I read Cal Newport's book, Deep Work, I realize something powerful. In today's world, being able to focus deeply without distractions is nothing less than a superpower. The book's core message is simple but profound. Deep work means doing focused, distraction-free work that pushes your cognitive abilities to their limit. And when we work like this, that's when real creativity and productivity happen. Newport contrasts this with shallow work, tasks that keep us busy but don't really move us forward. The truth is, shallow work doesn't create real value, but deep work, that's what separates average performers from high achievers. And I've seen this in my own life. Every time I've cut out distractions and truly focused, the quality of my work and the speed at which I finished it both improved significantly. So the real question is, how do we make deep work a part of our lives? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next part. Part 1. What is deep work? When I started reading Cal Newport's book, Deep Work, the first thing that really struck me was how he defined deep work. He writes, "Deep work is professional activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate." In simple words, deep work means doing work with full focus, no distractions, and total mental engagement. And when we operate in that zone, our skills grow faster, and the results we produce are of much higher quality. On the other hand, there's something called shallow work. And honestly, this is where most of us spend our day without even realizing it. Things like checking emails, attending meetings, replying to messages, being stuck in calls, or just endlessly scrolling through Instagram. These tasks might make us feel busy, but they don't actually build our skills or move our careers forward in any meaningful way. What deep work made me realize is this: if you want to create something truly exceptional, whether it's a great business idea, a coding project, writing a book, or preparing for a tough exam, there's no shortcut around deep work. One point in the book that really hit me was this: deep work makes you rare and valuable. Cal Newport explains that most people today are distracted. They're working all day, but only at a surface level. So if you can train yourself to go deep, you instantly rise above the average crowd. And here's the best part: deep work isn't just about productivity. It boosts your creativity, enhances problem solving, and improves your learning speed. When I started applying deep work in my own life, I noticed something powerful. My thinking became sharper. I got more done in less time, and the quality of my work improved without me even trying too hard. So now that we've understood what deep work really is and why it's so important, the next big question is, how do you actually start doing deep work? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next part. Part 2, the real value of deep work. When I started reading Deep Work, one thing became crystal clear to me. In today's digital world, if you really want to succeed, there are only two core skills that matter the most. First, the ability to learn things quickly. And second, the ability to work with deep focus. Now think about it. We're all trying to learn new things, whether it's a tool, a new skill, a trending topic, or a business strategy. But if our mind is constantly distracted, can we truly absorb or master anything quickly? Not really. Cal Newport emphasizes this exact point. In today's world, the people who master these two skills, fast learning and deep focus, are the ones who rise above the crowd. And the question is, why? Because today, we live in a distraction economy. Every app, every platform, every notification is fighting for our attention. Our phones buzz every few minutes, dragging us away from the real work that actually matters. And that's exactly why deep work has become the most rare and valuable skill of our time. When everyone else is drowning in shallow distractions, the ability to focus deeply becomes your unfair advantage. Cal Newport breaks this down with 3 major benefits of deep work. No. 1, you produce high-quality work. When you work without distractions, your brain can fully engage. Your thinking becomes sharper, deeper, and more creative, and the results you produce are far better than those done in a scattered state. Personally, I've experienced this myself. Whenever I've entered a deep work mode, my video scripts, my planning, my overall creativity, everything just became clearer, more refined, and more powerful. 2. You work faster. When you're not constantly checking WhatsApp, Instagram, or email, your mind enters what's called a flow state. In that state, time seems to disappear, and you get work done in half the time it usually takes. I've seen this in my own workflow. Tasks that used to take me 4 to 5 hours now sometimes get done in just 2 hours when I'm fully focused. 3. You become hard to replace, and honestly, this is the most important one. Because shallow work, like replying to emails or attending random meetings, can be done by anyone. But someone who can consistently do deep work, that's rare. And as Newport explains, what's rare becomes valuable. So whether you want to grow in your career, build your own business, master a creative skill, or simply stand out, deep work can become your biggest weapon. Cal Newport puts it perfectly. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at exactly the same time it is becoming increasingly valuable. In other words, fewer people are doing it, and its value is only going up. And that's what really struck me, because in a world where everyone is distracted, if you can just stay focused, even a little bit, you can completely change your game. So now the next question is, okay, deep work is powerful, but how do you actually apply it in real life? That's exactly what we'll dive into in part 3, where I'll share some practical and simple strategies to help you start doing deep work consistently in your daily routine. Part 3, the biggest obstacle to deep work, distractions. When I read deep work, one of the most eye-opening facts I came across was that our biggest obstacle, the thing that really keeps us from doing deep work, is distractions. Now, every time you open WhatsApp, scroll through Instagram, or visit a news site, do you think that you're just taking a quick break? In reality, with every distraction, you're context switching. What is context switching? It's when you jump from one task to another immediately, like checking WhatsApp, then Instagram, then emails, then a news notification. Your brain shifts from one task to another, and every time this happens, your concentration breaks. Research shows that whenever we switch our focus from one task to another, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for our brains to get back to the same deep level of focus we had before. So what we think is just a quick distraction actually costs us more time than we realize. And the worst part is, once we've lost that focus, it's hard to get back into the flow of deep work. How social media distracts us. Now, here's where the problem with social media comes in. These platforms are designed in a way that they pull your attention back again and again. Whether it's a WhatsApp ping, an Instagram post, or a Facebook notification, all of these take your attention away from what you're really supposed to be doing. The truth is, these social media apps are designed to hook you, to trap you in a cycle of constant engagement. Their entire design is truly practice deep work. I needed to create some distance from these digital drugs. Digital detox, the need of the hour. To do deep work, one of the most important things we must do is a digital detox. This doesn't mean we need to completely unplug from the digital world, but we have to manage our relationship with our phones, computers, and devices in a much more disciplined way. I personally tried stepping away from social media for a period of time. At first, it was tough, but as I started controlling my habits, I noticed that my focus improved drastically and my work quality went up. Steps to break free from distractions. Cal Newport suggests a few strategies to help us overcome distractions and really get into a state of deep work. 1. Set clear boundaries. First, you need to set clear boundaries for your work. For example, when you're doing deep work, put your phone on Do Not Disturb mode or keep it in another room altogether. 2. Create a distraction-free workspace. Make sure your workspace is as distraction-free as possible. This doesn't mean you need to work in complete isolation, but if you can find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted, the quality of your work can improve significantly. 3. Use technology wisely. Use technology to help you, not distract you. If you need to stay focused, use apps like Focus at Will, Forest, or Freedom, which block distracting websites and help you stay on track. 4. Schedule social media time. Set specific times to check social media. Instead of randomly checking your phone throughout the day, block out times when you'll check your social media and stay away from it the rest of the time. 5. Practice mindfulness. Whenever you feel your focus slipping, take a moment to practice mindfulness or meditation. This can help reset your mind and bring you back into a deep focus state. Why distractions are so powerful. This all sounds a bit tough. How do I stop myself from getting distracted? How do I control my phone and social media? But here's the deeper truth. Why are distractions so powerful? Social media, news, and other distractions are powerful because they provide us with instant gratification. When we check an Instagram post or see a WhatsApp message, we get a little hit of dopamine, which gives us a quick sense of pleasure. But deep work doesn't provide instant gratification. It's a longer process, and the rewards are delayed. That's why distractions feel more compelling, because they give us that immediate satisfaction. But as you start distancing yourself from these distractions, you'll begin to realize that the satisfaction and fulfillment you get from doing deep work is far greater and longer lasting. Summary. In conclusion, the biggest obstacle to deep work is our distractions. These distractions aren't just a minor annoyance, they break our focus and prevent us from doing our best work. By taking steps to distance ourselves from digital distractions and set clearer boundaries, we can begin to do the kind of deep, meaningful work that leads to real success. Part 4. The 4 Golden Rules of Deep Work. Now that we understand the value of deep work, the next question is, how do we actually apply it in our lives? Cal Newport shares 4 golden rules that can help us build deep work into our daily routine and protect ourselves from constant distractions. Let me walk you through these, based on what I've learned by reading the book myself. Rule 1. Work deeply. The first and most important rule is work deeply. To do deep work, you need to create an environment where distractions don't exist. That means designing a space and time where your mind can fully focus without any interruptions. One of the best techniques is time blocking. You pick a specific time slot in your day, like 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., and commit to working deeply during that period. No phone, no multitasking, just you and your most important task. You also need to create a ritual, a fixed routine that signals to your brain it's time for deep work. This could be sitting in the same spot every day, having a pre-work routine like journaling or meditation, and preparing your tools beforehand. Make it easier for your brain to shift into a deep state quickly. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. The second rule is embrace boredom. We've become so used to constant stimulation, scrolling through our phones, checking notifications, that our brain has forgotten how to sit still and focus. But deep work requires you to be okay with boredom, because when you're constantly entertained, your brain loses the ability to go deep. To build that focus muscle, start giving your brain quiet time. Sit in silence without your phone for a few minutes every day. Don't try to fill every gap in your day with content. Just let your mind wander and think. That ability to tolerate boredom actually helps your brain prepare for deep focus later. Rule 3. Quit social media. The third rule is quit social media, or at least be very intentional about it. This doesn't mean you have to delete everything, but you do need to ask a serious question. Is this platform helping me in my personal or professional life in any meaningful way? If the answer is no, then you need to let it go without guilt. Social media is designed to hijack your attention. It pulls you away from real work and leaves you feeling busy but not productive. Instead of spending hours being active on social media, invest that time into deep work, the kind of work that gives real results and growth. Rule 4. Drain the shallows. The fourth and final rule is drain the shallows. In other words, reduce the amount of shallow work in your life. Shallow work includes things like replying to emails, attending unimportant meetings, and answering phone calls. These tasks feel necessary, but they often drain your energy without giving any real value. To tackle this, you need to set a strict schedule. Block out specific times for deep work and treat it as your top priority. Limit how often you check emails or take calls, maybe once or twice a day, not constantly. The goal is to create a work rhythm where deep work has most of your attention and shallow work is handled in small, controlled time slots. Summary of the 4 rules. So here are the 4 golden rules of deep work, as explained by Cal Newport. 1. Work deeply. Create a distraction-free environment and commit time for focused work. 2. Embrace boredom. Train your mind to be okay without constant stimulation. 3. Quit social media. Remove platforms that aren't adding real value to your life. 4. Drain the shallows. Minimize shallow tasks and give deep work the priority it deserves. By following these 4 rules, you can transform the way you work and think. I've started applying them myself after reading this book, and the impact is real. Better focus, better results, and way less stress. Part 5. How to build a deep work routine. Now the big question is, how do we actually build deep work into our daily routine? Because just understanding the concept isn't enough. The real transformation begins when we apply it in real life. After reading Deep Work by Cal Newport, I realized that this isn't something you do once in a while. It's a daily practice, a system, something that slowly becomes a part of your lifestyle. So here's what I've learned about how to build a deep work routine. 1. Schedule 2 to 3 hours of deep work daily. Start small. Block out at least 2 to 3 hours each day specifically for deep work. Choose a time when you're least distracted. For me, early morning works best. The mind is fresh, and there are fewer interruptions from social media or people. During this time, turn off notifications, put your phone away, and focus on just one task with full intensity. Notch 2. Use time blocking. One thing that really helped me is time blocking. It means planning every hour of your day in advance, not just what you'll work on, but when you'll work on it. For example, 8 to 9 a.m. research, 9-10 a.m. script writing, then a short break, and so on. This structure helps your brain stay focused because there's clarity about what needs to be done and when. 3. Try the Pomodoro technique. If you're someone who struggles to focus for long stretches, try the Pomodoro technique. It's super simple. 25 minutes of focused deep work, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break of 15-20 minutes. I've used this myself, and it's a great way to train your brain for deep focus without burning out. 4. Dedicate 1 full deep work day per week. Another powerful tip from the book. Set aside 1 full day each week just for deep work. That means no meetings, no calls, no emails, no social media, just pure high-impact work, the kind that moves your career or personal growth forward. I tried this, and trust me, 1 deep work day can be more productive than the entire rest of the week. Final thoughts. Building a deep work routine isn't difficult, but it does require discipline. Start small with 2 hours a day. Use time blocking. Use Pomodoro if needed. Cut out distractions and protect your focus. Once you turn deep work into a daily habit, your skills, your results, and your focus, everything will rise to a whole new level. Part 6. The impact of deep work. After reading Deep Work by Cal Newport, one thing really hit me hard. Those who learn how to work deeply stand out in today's noisy world. And it's true. Deep work doesn't just help you get more work done, it helps you do better work. 1. Your thinking and decision-making sharpen. When you work deeply, when you sit with one problem and focus on it for hours, your brain starts thinking on a whole new level. You begin to understand things more clearly, make better decisions, and create solutions that surface-level thinking just can't reach. That's the power of focus. 2. You learn faster and grow quicker. I personally felt this when I started removing distractions and focused on real intentional work. My learning speed increased. When your mind is 100% on one thing, you absorb it faster, deeper, and better. And in today's world, the ability to learn quickly is rare and extremely valuable. 3. You start to stand out from the crowd. In a world where most people are addicted to their phones, social media, and distractions, someone practicing deep work automatically stands out. Your work quality improves, your creative thinking deepens, and people start noticing you as someone serious, focused, and purposeful. This is 4. Real-life example, Cal Newport himself. Let's talk about Cal Newport, the author of Deep Work. He's a computer science professor, author, and highly respected thought leader. And the most surprising thing? He's not on social media at all. No Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook, and still he built a powerful and successful career. He writes best-selling books, teaches, does deep research, and impacts thousands of lives. It proves one thing: if you embrace deep work, you don't need to be everywhere online to succeed. Final thoughts. Deep work isn't just a productivity technique. It's a mindset. It's a way of living that says, I won't stay on the surface, I'll go deep. I won't just react, I'll act with intention. And once you adopt this mindset, your productivity, creativity, and success begin to multiply in ways you never imagined. The real message of deep work. After reading Deep Work, one thing became crystal clear to me. In today's world, your attention is your most valuable currency. Those who can protect their focus, stay away from distractions, and go deep in their work, they are the ones who truly rise above the noise. Because everything today is fast and loud. But deep work taught me this. Real success doesn't come from staying on the surface. It comes from going deep. Deep work isn't just a book. This isn't just about some time management hack. It's a way of thinking, a mindset that says, I won't chase every shiny notification. I will think, reflect, and create with depth. I will unlock the true power of my mind. And trust me, once you start living with this mindset, everything starts to change. How you learn, how you perform, and how people see you. Are you ready? Now, the question isn't whether deep work is effective or not. The real question is, are you ready to make deep work a part of your life? Are you ready to cut the noise, focus with intention, and build your best version while the world gets lost in distractions? If yes, then there's no better time than right now. A small challenge for you. Starting today, block just 1 hour for deep work. Turn off your phone. No notifications. No distractions. Use that hour to think, read, or build something meaningful. You'll feel the difference in just a few days. I've personally seen big changes after applying deep work in my life, and I truly believe you can too. Let's build a life that's not shallow, but powerful and purposeful. If you found this video valuable, remember, deep work isn't a trick, it's a lifestyle. In a world full of noise and distractions, the ability to focus is a revolution. And if you want to be part of that revolution, then hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. Here we break down the most powerful books that can change the way you think, work, and live. Books change lives, and we make them easy for you. See you in the next video with another life-changing summary. Until then, don't think shallow, think deep.